Olivia Harrison inhaled deeply as the morning sunshine poured through her window in Maplewood, a quaint town in Pennsylvania where tradition and appearances were highly esteemed. Growing up surrounded by such values, Olivia had always been conscious of what others thought. "Olivia, you'll be late for the church meeting today." Her mother Judith's voice resonated from downstairs. Judith, as the president of St. Joseph's Church Women's Association, was a person of respect within the community, known for her perfectly styled blonde hair and immaculate attire. "I'm getting dressed now," Olivia answered, fixing her hair in front of the mirror. When she joined her father Thomas downstairs, he was engrossed in his morning coffee while reading the newspaper. "Good morning, Papa," she greeted. A man of discipline, Thomas worked at the local bank for 40 years, retiring as branch manager with his sharp eyes and graying hair telling the tale. "Good morning," he acknowledged, his focus still mostly on the newspaper. "Your sister Ashley's husband's been promoted to partner. Isn't that spectacular news?" her mother said. Ashley, Olivia's sister, was the family's pride, having married a successful lawyer and lived in an ideal suburban house, serving as a role model for young church couples. "Yes, that's wonderful," Olivia responded, though complicated emotions swirled behind her smile. "You should find a nice man soon. Remember, Janet's daughter is already pregnant with her second child," her mother added. Olivia nodded without speaking as such conversations became routine occurrences. Resolute in her heart, the child set off to her parents' home, determined to reveal the truth. Her announcement of being pregnant drained the color from her mother Judith's face. "Thomas, did you hear what your daughter just said?" she asked in disbelief. Her father, Thomas, flushed with anger, demanded, "Who is the father?" "A person named Miles," Olivia answered shakily. "But I've lost contact with him." "Unbelievable," her mother gasped. "You've been abandoned." Olivia firmly insisted that Miles was genuine and suspected something befell him. With a sarcastic chortle, her father dismissed it as another man's excuse. That evening turned into a hellish confrontation for Olivia. "You can't raise a child by yourself," her mother stated coolly. "Abort it or put it up for adoption," her father commanded. Trembling, Olivia declared, "I'm having this baby and will raise it alone if I must," igniting her father's angry disdain. "Then go and be ready for the family's shame," he retorted. Thus, Olivia's struggle began. One Sunday afternoon, as the winter sunlight streamed through her parents' living room, Olivia cradled her 2-week-old son, Noah. The room felt cold, not due to the fireplace's lack, but from the icy atmosphere. "I thought you'd reconsider," Judith remarked, crossing her arms, eyes averted from the sleeping baby. "Reconsider what?" Olivia responded softly yet firmly, asserting Noah was her child and her decision unregretted. Out of wedlock, Judith struggled to contain her words, concerned about what to tell the church and the stain on their family prestige. Thomas sighed from a distance, feigning interest in the newspaper whilst hiding his frustration. "Isn't there more important than reputation?" Olivia asked, gently stroking Noah's head. "He's innocent, has done no wrong." Judith's harsh comparison to Olivia's sister Ashley and her perfect domestic life stung Olivia deeply. "Ashley has the life we envisioned," Judith proclaimed. "Why you, with a child out of wedlock, shame our name?" Thomas suddenly dropped his paper, his voice resonating with the weight of family expectation. The Harrison name, a symbol of respectability, now tarnished. The front door swung open, ushering a chill as Ashley entered, flawlessly pulled together, her husband Martin at her side reminiscent of a magazine spread. "Sorry for being late," Ashley apologized with a smile, which faded at the sight of Olivia. "Brought the baby, I see." Martin, uneasy, muttered little, clearly not wanting to wade into the family quagmire. "Naturally," Olivia responded. "Noah's still tiny, and I can't leave him alone." Ashley ironically scoffed. "Couldn't marry but think you can raise a child," piercing Olivia's heart with her sister's unkind remark. Tears threatened Olivia's composure, but she looked away to conceal them. "Enough, Ashley," Judith interrupted, not protectively, but to prevent further conflict. "Why summon me?" Olivia questioned. "Just to criticize." Silence engulfed the room as Thomas stood by the window, lost in the outside world. Judith gripped her coffee cup, Ashley beside Martin with elegance. "A decision is made," Thomas finally declared. "No place in this home. You've brought this upon yourself," he decreed, facing away. In search of support, Olivia looked toward her mother, who silently upheld her husband's verdict. "Leave now, take what you need," Thomas continued. Noah began to fuss in Olivia's arms as she gently rocked him, tears barely held at bay. 30 minutes later, Olivia descended with a bag of essentials and her baby. The living room lay deserted. Her family avoided the farewell's heartbreak. As she donned her shoes at the door, she didn't turn back, pressing her 32 years of memories in the home deep into her heart. Outside, snowflakes fell. The bitter wind brushed Olivia's face. She tucked Noah closely. "It's all right, Noah," she whispered intimately. "We'll find our way." Thus, they embarked on the snowy path, anxiety and fear mingling with a newfound sense of freedom, with a sense of liberation. Olivia held Noah closely, ensuring no force could pull them apart. "Everything I need is right here," she promised, gazing at her baby's delicate features. "You and I will grow strong together," she resolved, as snow softly covered the path behind them, erasing their tracks. 8 months passed, bringing significant changes to Olivia's life. Though the heartache of her family's rejection lingered, she resolved to be resilient for Noah's sake. Thanks to Jessica, the museum director, Olivia managed to continue her art restoration work from the comfort of her home, transforming a corner of her modest apartment into a dedicated workspace, focusing intently while Noah napped. Upon venturing to the museum, the receptionist, Sarah, informed her with a wave, "Jessica's looking for you. Something important to discuss." Grateful, Olivia expressed her thanks as she maneuvered the stroller inside, where the museum team always warmly greeted Noah, having become her newfound family after her own had turned her away. In Jessica's office, as she knocked, an invitation to enter followed. "Ah, perfect timing." Jessica welcomed Olivia and affectionately stroked Noah's cheek, gesturing for Olivia to sit. "I have fantastic news," Jessica shared with enthusiasm. "Foster International has requested a critical restoration." "Foster International?" Olivia queried, intrigued. "You mean the large corporation?" "Indeed," Jessica confirmed, displaying documents. "They own a collection of 17th-century Dutch paintings, and they need one restored. The compensation is significant. I recommended you. Confident you'll excel." Olivia gasped, overwhelmed. "Me? On such an important project?" Jessica reassured her. "Your talent speaks for itself. Plus, this could enable you to afford a bigger apartment." Filled with gratitude and determination, Olivia vowed to deliver her best work. "Their representative will meet you tomorrow," Jessica informed. "Dress appropriately." That evening, after Noah was tucked into bed, Olivia retrieved a dress she hadn't worn since leaving home. As she ironed it, nervousness interlaced with excitement simmered within her. The following day, heading to the museum's conference room where Linda, Jessica's secretary, was looking after Noah, Olivia composed herself, opening the door. At a distance, a tall man stood by the window, his posture familiar, though the light made identifying him challenging. Turning to face her, Olivia found herself immobilized in surprise. "Miles," she breathed. The man was indeed Miles Foster, though markedly transformed from the modest individual she once knew. He now exuded confidence in a tailor-made suit. His quiet voice filled the room as he addressed her. Jessica interjected. "Mr. Foster, you know each other?" Confusion tinged Olivia's expression. "Forgive my late introductions," Jessica proceeded. "This is Mr. Miles Foster, not merely a secretary, as initially stated." Olivia's mind raced, piecing together the puzzle of Miles, who seemed to command the staff's respect far beyond that of a typical secretary, leaving her questioning his abrupt disappearance 8 months prior. Official discussions transpired, but Olivia's focus lingered on Miles. "Would you two handle the contract specifics?" Jessica suggested, departing alongside her team, leaving Olivia and Miles enveloped in silence. "Olivia, let me explain," Miles softly insisted, edging closer. 8 months, Olivia echoed, her voice unsteady. You vanished, leaving no way to reach you. I searched. Miles drew nearer. I lost your contact details. I've remained here, Olivia stated, imploring answers. Where have you been, and what's all this? She asked, indicating his refined appearance. With a profound breath, Miles invited Olivia to take a seat. The truth is due, he asserted. I am indeed Miles Foster. However, I am more than merely a secretary, as Jessica presumed. I'm the heir to Foster International, my father's enterprise. Shock rendered Olivia speechless. Foster International was a globally dominant entity with substantial wealth. I was in search of someone who'd perceive the genuine me, Miles disclosed. Someone accepting of Miles alone, beyond titles or affluence. Unearthly sincerity shone in his eyes. Living under a disguised identity led me to meet you. During our encounter, I felt liberated from my lineage. He explained, yet an unforeseen illness overtook my father, demanding my immediate return. Post this, global travels ensued, addressing business emergencies. Tearfully, Olivia murmured, Why didn't you reach out? Miles explained, Because of my need to replace my phone. Your contact vanished. Upon my return to Maplewood, I was informed that you had departed from the museum. In the midst of our conversation, a baby's cry suddenly echoed from a hallway. I apologize, Olivia, Linda said quickly, opening the door. Noah has been searching for his mommy. In Linda's embrace, Noah reached out his small hands toward Olivia. Miles stood there, motionless, his gaze shifting between Olivia and the child, back and forth. A baby, he stammered. Olivia took Noah from Linda, holding him close. This is my son, Noah, she said softly. All color vanished from Miles's face. After you left, I discovered I was expecting, Olivia admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Miles moved closer, slowly, his eyes fixed on Noah's face, perceiving a reflection of himself. My son, he whispered. Olivia nodded. Yes, your son, Miles. With trembling hands, Miles touched Noah's cheek. Noah flinched slightly but soon relaxed, staring at Miles with wide eyes. The moment their gazes locked, the ambience shifted. He is my son, Miles whispered, emotion filling his voice. Yes, Olivia replied quietly, tears brimming in Miles's eyes. Why didn't you tell me? He asked. I tried, Olivia answered sadly, but I couldn't find you. Miles placed a hand over his mouth, breathing deeply. Olivia, I am genuinely sorry. If I had known. I don't blame you, Olivia said, cradling Noah. You were unaware. Yet Miles looked earnestly at her. Now I know, and I wish to assume responsibility. Olivia felt a swirl of emotions. Could she rely on Miles? Would he vanish again? However, she recognized the same genuineness in his eyes she had once trusted. Noah is very healthy, she stated, shifting the topic. The doctor is pleased with his development. I want to know all about him, Miles replied earnestly, everything from his birth to this very day. They relocated to the museum's cozy cafe, where Olivia recounted Noah's milestones to Miles, his first smile, his first role, the babbling he had just begun. Miles listened intently, not wanting to miss a detail. Yet, when talk turned to family, Olivia seemed withdrawn. Did something happen? Miles probed. Olivia breathed deeply and shared about the rift with her family, their disowning her, their absence since. Miles's expression grew stern. They did this to you? His voice carried anger, surprising Olivia. You've been all alone? I'm not alone, Olivia smiled softly. I have Noah. Miles took her hand, assuring her, You're not alone anymore, I'm here. In the ensuing weeks, Miles gradually integrated into Olivia and Noah's routine. Daily visits, cooking dinners, helping with Noah's bath. Even amidst his busy career, he made room for Noah. He's growing attached, Olivia observed, as Miles gently comforted the boy. He's an extraordinary child, Miles boasted proudly, brave and inquisitive, just like you. Olivia smiled, though uncertainty lingered in her heart about their future. Miles's business took him across the globe. How would Noah and she fit into that life? Miles appeared one day at her apartment with a small box. Olivia, he began, planting himself on the sofa, looking nervous. I've been meaning to say something. Olivia felt a twinge of anxiety as he continued. I don't think we need to begin again. Her heart skipped. We've never stopped. My feelings never changed from the very start. I've always loved you. He revealed an emerald ring from the box, adding, Join us. Be a family with Noah and me. Miles, Olivia breathed. Isn't this too sudden? We still have so much to learn about each other. I understand, he assured. We can move slowly. I just needed to express what's in my heart. He placed the ring in her palm. Please, take your time to think it over. Confusion enveloped Olivia. Emotions for Miles stirred deeply, yet everything seemed rapid and uncertain. Observing Miles's consistent warmth and dedication, however, gradually softened her resolve. One day, Miles quietly proposed, Olivia, I've been considering your family. She grew tense. They are no longer my family, she declared firmly. They're still your parents, Miles countered gently, and Noah's grandparents. They cast us away, Olivia retorted. I understand, Miles said, clasping her hand, and that's why it's time to change that narrative. What are you suggesting? She asked. Let's go to your family's home for Thanksgiving, Miles proposed earnestly. The three of us. Olivia's eyes widened in disbelief. You're joking, right? I'm quite serious, Miles assured, determination blazing in his gaze. I want them to see how strong you've grown, the incredible mother you are, he smiled faintly, and how misguided their judgments were. After a long silence, Olivia eventually nodded. All right, but I'm scared. This time, Miles warmly held her. I won't leave you alone on Thanksgiving Day, he assured Olivia as she adjusted her hair in front of the mirror several times. She was dressed in a simple yet elegant dress Miles had gifted her, marking her first formal attire in a long time. Noah, meanwhile, looked slightly unhappy in his small suit, ready for his first formal wear. Miles, dressed in a perfectly tailored suit that emanated the dignity of a successful businessman, approached. Ready, he said, opening the door. Olivia, taking a deep breath, nodded. I'm ready. All three of them got into his luxurious car and proceeded toward the quiet Maplewood residential area where Olivia's family home was situated. The familiar scenery from the car windows evoked painful memories for Olivia, who softly said, Here. Miles parked in front of her family home, which appeared unchanged. The garden was well maintained, the door handle polished, everything as she remembered. Let's go, Miles encouraged, holding her hand while Olivia held onto Noah as they slowly approached the entrance. Before Olivia could ring the bell, her mother, Judith, opened the door, her eyes widening in surprise, speechless at the sight of her daughter and the man beside her, especially upon noticing the luxury car. Hello, Mom, Olivia said softly. May we come in? Miles asked politely, and Judith quickly invited them inside. In the living room, her father, Thomas, and sister, Ashley, were equally surprised to see them. Miles calmly introduced himself. Forgive my late introduction. I'm Miles Foster, CEO of Foster International. A year later, during winter, Olivia stood at a large window, watching snow fall gently outside, covering the large garden decorated for Christmas. Nearby, Noah, now 1.5 years old, was building a snowman with Miles. He was standing firmly and had just started to speak small words. Mama. Noah waved at her, making Miles look up and smile. Olivia gently placed a hand on her stomach. They were expecting their second child, likely a girl, according to the doctor. What are you thinking about? Miles came up behind her, gently placing a hand on her shoulder. About this past year, Olivia took his hand. Everything has changed so quickly. 6 months before, Miles and Olivia had married in a small church ceremony, gaining attention due to Miles's family status. Despite her reluctance, Olivia's prominence as a daughter of a well-known Maplewood family also drew interest. Olivia now had her art restoration workshop, succeeding through her talent and efforts, with critical works continuously arriving due to her highly regarded skills. "There's been another contact from your family," Miles mentioned quietly, causing Olivia's expression to darken. Her relationship with them remained complicated. On that Thanksgiving day, once her family realized Miles's true identity, their attitudes shifted drastically, particularly her mother, Judith, who suddenly showed interest in Olivia and the baby. Her father, Thomas, was proud of the connection to the foster family, which hurt her, as it wasn't her they valued, but the link to Miles. "They want to invite us to Christmas dinner," Miles continued. Olivia sighed softly. "Will Ashley be there too?" Her relationship with her sister remained strained. Rumors suggested Ashley's seemingly perfect marriage was crumbling due to her husband, Martin's, infidelity, leading to their separation. "She'll probably be there," Miles responded. Olivia pondered as she watched the snow through the window. She didn't hate her family, but the pain lingered. However, she now had a new family, Miles, Noah, and their unborn child. She had grown stronger. "Let's invite them," Olivia decided. "We'll have dinner here." Miles looked surprised. "Really?" "Yes," Olivia smiled. "Noah deserves to know his grandparents." She paused before continuing. "And maybe they deserve a chance to change." On Christmas Eve, a warm light illuminated Olivia and Miles's luxurious home when the doorbell rang. Olivia took a deep breath before opening the door to her parents and sister. "Merry Christmas," she quietly greeted them. Once seated at the dining table, Miles stood, raising a glass as everyone watched him. "Olivia," he began with emotion in his voice, "is the most wonderful woman I've ever met. Her value lies not in my wealth or status, but in her own strength and love. I cherish what you overlooked." The table fell silent. Judith's eyes filled with tears, Thomas lowered his gaze, and Ashley fidgeted with a tablecloth, maintaining a rigid expression. Olivia looked at them with a heart at peace, no longer feeling hurt. She had a loving family and a life of her own, buoyed by the knowledge of her own strength.